Hey y'all, my name is Cameronfonteneaux. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you should take a social media detox. When I was researching and looking up things for this video, I was super excited because I just feel like many people don't talk about the effects of social media on your mental health and how it can affect you. And so I want to make this video. Right here, I have 5 different things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to break them down, explain them. And I learned so much when I was researching this video. And so I hope this advice can help you. And yeah. So let's get into the first thing. So for the first thing that I want to talk about would be the negative effects of social media. I'm also going to break these down into like subpoints. And so for the first one, it was going to be it may cause comparison. 2, it gives you that idea and understanding of instant gratification. And 3, just fixing the problem of mindless scrolling, like just wasting time scrolling on stuff. Like you could just help fix that problem. And so for the first subpoint I want to go into would be it may cause comparison. And so because especially, I feel like, well, the social media platforms that I use a good amount would be like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So I'll be talking in between those 3. But when it means of saying like it may cause comparison, because everyone says comparison is a thief of joy. Like when it comes to social media, everybody is showing their like highlights or like their best of something, or like everybody is showing when they're always happy, they're always doing good, in their best looks. But it's like they're not showing the rough times, the hard times, where, okay, say they might be starting a business or something, they're not showing when the business is doing bad. You know what I mean? They're not showing the times where they might be sad or depressed. They might not be showing the times where they're not going through that perfect relationship. We always see couples online and we'd be like, oh, I wish my couple was like that, or my boyfriend or girlfriend was like that. But it's like, you realize it's social media. It's always going to show the best of stuff. Even with me, I'm Christian and stuff, and there's so many times where I've compared my walk or my faith walk compared to someone else's, because on social media it's showing the highlights. So I just be thinking, oh, they're so close to God, I'm not close, or they're trusting God more, they're not sinning as much. But it's like they're not showing them sinning. They're gonna obviously show them praise, worship in church, like I said, the highlights, them doing the best, and I guess better than everyone else. They're not going to be showing their hard times. So that's what I was saying about like always comparison, right? For example, going, y'all know I've always talked about like my skin and how like back then I didn't used to like my skin. On social media they have filters, right? So say if someone has acne, they have bad skin, they could just throw on a filter so they look good, and immediately you might see a picture or a TikTok and just be like, oh, their skin is so clear. Meanwhile, they got a whole filter. Or I didn't even know, like, people when they post like Instagram photos, there's like editing apps, so like people can instantly like remove bumps or remove there's a whole lot of stuff. Then I know there's AI, so I'm like, people are going to always show the best that they have, even celebrities, right? Showing all the cars, high-rise apartments, buying expensive stuff, buying the most expensive thing when it comes out. Like, if you don't have, I guess, that mental strength and that mental understanding, you will always compare yourself to the next person, because that's kind of all social media is. And I mean, yes, I'm a YouTuber, and I'm not trying to explain these things in like a wrong way, but I'm just saying in general, like most people just look at it in comparison. Most people, they go on Instagram and immediately see, oh, someone can dress better than me, someone's more prettier than me. Someone goes on YouTube and just immediately see, oh, they got more money than me. TikTok, oh, they live a better lifestyle than me. You know what I mean? Go into the lifestyle, right? People aren't showing when they're sad, depressed, they're going through breakups and stuff, but they're gonna show you when they get something new. They're gonna show you when they're getting their hair done. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like I said before, if you don't have that mental strength, you just always compare yourself to the next person. And then I guess this will go back into comparison, but like understanding the idea of like instant gratification, because once again, social media, it's always going to be showing the best of something. So when it comes to you starting that YouTube channel, that business, or even you going into college your freshman year, like instant gratification is just the fact of like instant results. So on social media, like I said, people might not show them struggling on that test or failing that test, failing that quiz, but you just immediately see them post, oh, I got a 4.7 GPA. You got to sit there and be like, oh, I wish I was that smart. I wish I was that. But it's like they might not just show you all the studying they're doing. They might not show you all the times they're staying up till 5, 6 a.m. to study for that midterm or quiz. You know what I mean? Like I know I do that with YouTube. Like I would just look at someone's video, like I'll just say like Kai or something. I'll just see him post a YouTube video. I'm like, dang, like I wish I had a mil. I wish I can get 2 mil on that. But it's like, he's been doing this for 8 years. But it's like, people just don't see that. You know what I mean? Like, people just see the most recent post, the most recent purchase. Like, they don't see the journey you starting. Like, I really had to understand that, like, everybody does start at zero. You know what I mean? That's just like me. You know, I have 400 subs. That might not be a lot to some people, but I'm like, a year ago, I was at zero. A year ago, I had no videos posted. You know what I mean? So it's all about the journey. It's the same thing with Christianity. I know a lot of people, they'll be scared to like join a church or like get into Christ just because of like, they, they have all their past mistakes, all their past sins. They'll be like, oh, I don't think God will love me and stuff. But it's like, no, he will. But just like I said, when you go to church, you see everybody in their nice clothes, worshiping, making it seem as though like people aren't going through stuff, but they are. Just once again, it's just like you're not seeing that. So you immediately think, okay, I'm going to go into Christ and boom, I'm anew. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. You got to be in your word. You got to pray. You got to do the fellowship. You got to get into it. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's so much groundwork that like people, like I said, people just don't see. They don't post. So you immediately think like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to blow up. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to blow up. Or say you're a girl, you do hair and lashes, I'm gonna blow up, I'm gonna get new clients. Like, no, but like I said, people don't post that. Only thing you see on Instagram is just someone got their hair done and the link and the tag. But you might have someone, that client, that business lady didn't have clients for a month, didn't have clients for 6 months, but it's like you won't see that because people only post the good stuff, never the bad stuff. So I hope y'all were able to understand that about like instant gratification. And then just the last one was just going to be like mindless scrolling. This is a big thing. I feel like if you watch all these videos, I kind of try to like discuss. But like sometimes when you're just mindlessly scrolling, like you just open TikTok and you're just doing this and the stuff isn't benefiting you. One, I mean, it's a waste of time, Like I said, I try to make these videos targeting kind of like college people and age demographic. In college we got work, we got exams, we got to study. You just getting on TikTok, you gotta do that homework. You gotta study for that test. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you just sitting there scrolling on TikTok. Like, there's so many times where I was like, oh, I'm gonna just check my phone. It'll be 2 hours. I'm in the same spot looking at TikToks, laughing, commenting. You know what I mean? So just mindlessly scrolling. At the end of the day, it just be a waste of time. Like I always tell people, like social media isn't bad if you're watching stuff that is benefiting you. But let's be real, y'all. Most of the times we're not watching that. We'll be watching some people be watching stuff on the shade room, the T pages. Like, we're in college, we're trying to get a degree in business. Why do we need to know what DDG and Hadley are up to? We don't. We don't need to know the celebrity that we probably might never ever meet that is miles away. Why do we need to know they tee their business? Like, you have an exam to study for tomorrow. Study that exam. You know what I mean? So it's just little things like that. I always tell people this because you could go on YouTube, right? Maybe you're taking a break from doing your work and you might be watching a Christian video or a motivational video, but most of the time we're not doing that. We're just wasting time. Like, that's literally what it is. And so that was kind of my negative effects of social media. There's probably a lot more you could probably find, but I feel like these were like the top three that I want to talk about. So yeah, let's go on to number two. And so hopefully y'all are able to understand that because y'all know I be talking fast. But for my second one, it's going to be how to detox. And this is going to be like multiple points, but like when you're detoxing, you could, look at your screen time in the iPhone settings, or I don't have an Android, so I don't know if Android has those settings, but I know on iPhone, you go to your settings, you go look at your screen time. You can create limits on apps or just, delete apps, or, building, and just in general, just building self-control. And the last, one guy I saw research, he was saying to like have it on your computer instead of your phone. And I think that will be like really good. So for the first one, I will talk about, looking at your screen time. I'll try to put my screen time on the phone, but I just know that like it's just crazy because if you look in your settings, like it will tell you like technology and phones, like it's crazy how they work. But like on your screen time, like I know sometimes for me, I have like 6 to maybe 10 hours of screen time like daily. And it's like if you sit there and realize like there's 24 hours in a day, you're spending 8 hours of that day on your phone. So like you woke up, then you went to sleep, but for a total of 8 hours, you're doing just this. Just this. For 8 hours? 7? 9? Y'all know how long 1 hour is? 9 hours of this. Like, what? Is that not crazy? So I'm like, make sure if you want to do a detox, like look at your screen time. Because say if you don't want to take like all social media apps away, you could just see like what do you use the most, or like it'll show you like what notifications you use the most. So definitely looking at your screen time will help you like know, okay, like I need to get off of TikTok or I need to get off of Instagram. And then it'll even show you like weekly. And even for me, I've had like 15, 30 hours of screen time weekly, and I'm just still like 30 hours of screen time. That's you're doing this in a total of one day. There's 24 hours in a day, and 30 of those hours you're doing like what? Is that not crazy? So definitely look at your screen time so you can see limits. I've done this on my phone and it does help me, but you do have to have self-control because you could just easily press past the limit. But you can set up limits on your phone. I'm pretty sure for YouTube, I had one, but then I deleted it just because I love YouTube. I'm sorry. But I definitely know for TikTok and Instagram, I have like 15 or 20 minutes, especially for TikTok, because I just feel like for YouTube, like, the video is going to be an hour or 30 minutes. So it's like, I feel like once the video is over, okay, I spent 30 minutes. But I definitely feel like Instagram, you could just be clicking on people's story and time could just be going by, or you could be watching post reels and time is just going by. I especially feel like for me on TikTok, like time speeds up for me on TikTok. Like I will literally have watched one or two videos and then the timer will go off and I'll be like, what? So that's why I was like the limits really help. Like there's literally been times where like I've gotten completely distracted off task and that timer has popped up on my screen and I've literally been like, oh wow, I didn't know I was here for 30, 20 minutes. So that's why I'm like, I say just if you would want to just get off of social media completely, I would just say probably log out or delete because like that's just the immediate cutoff. But if you do just want to restrict, I definitely say like your screen time and adding limits. And then, like I said, just building self control in general would be the general idea because once again, we're humans, you know what I mean? We're gonna get distracted, we're gonna make mistakes, but at the end of the day, it's either you're gonna be on social media or you're not. There's no in between. Once again, you can't say, oh, I'm gonna get 5 minutes on TikTok, then you've been on TikTok for 5 minutes, then you click past the limit, and then 3 hours and pass. You know what I mean? Like all our phones are very addicting. Social media is very addicting. I don't think people realize that too. Like with TikTok, like there's literally the For You page, the algorithm, it literally sees everything you share, everything you like, everything you comment. All it tells the algorithm is that he likes this. If I like one or two dog videos, my For You page will not be full of dogs. And you got to understand that once you're going through that For You page and that algorithm, and it's knowing the stuff that you like, you're commenting, you're sharing, you're laughing at, it's going to keep putting those things on your page. So what? So you could be on it. So you could be on it longer. Same thing with YouTube, right? The videos you watch is going to start being suggested. So now instead of you taking time to search it, you just open up your phone and you're like, "Oh, this looks interesting." Boom. Now you've been there for 20 minutes. Now at the end, because I know, like, I feel like people just don't realize these little mechanics. Like at the end of the YouTube video, it literally will say, oh, do you want to watch this next video in 5 seconds? Or it will give you suggestions of more videos. Once again, all these things are keeping you on the app for a little bit longer. So, like I said, just try to look out for those things. Because, like I said, we'd be on these apps for hours, 15 hours of the day. And then we sit there and we'll be like, why? But it's like because of the For You page, because of the algorithms. And then on the last thing was having it on your computer. That's what I learned from researching about this video. And I feel like that could be really beneficial just because like they have TikTok on computer, like a desktop version, but let's be for real, everybody's using it on your phone. So I just feel like if you were to delete everything off your phone and you had to pull out your computer side and actually go into the browser, that's like 10 minutes. And everybody nowadays got short attention span. I just feel like no one's doing all that. When on your phone it's just Face ID, click the app, boom, now you're swiping, you know what I mean? So I feel like those would be good ways to detox, like just delete the apps, put your limits on, know your screen time. And yeah, so let's get into the third one. And so for the third one, I want to talk about, we just talked about detoxing. So now it's going to be the benefits of detoxing and breaking these down. And once again, it's going to be, these can help you for your mental health, helps better focusing, room for growth, better sleep, creativity, just a whole lot of stuff. Going into your mental health, I kind of talked about this in the first one, but once again, you won't always see people's perfectness or perfectionism on there. So, say you're going through a breakup, like if you don't go to social media for your problems, you'll be able to just handle it on your own time. But with social media, I feel like you'll see the perfect relationship. So you're instantly like, oh, well, I wish I could do this, be like that. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like comparison definitely takes a toll on your mental health because once again, you're always going to feel like you're not doing enough. You're not going to feel as confident because you see someone else looking like this, someone else has this clothes, someone else's makeup like this, someone else's shoes are like this, someone else's channel is like this. Like, you comparing yourself is definitely going to take away that inner confidence that you just need for, your support and your stability. Then to go into like better focusing, you know what I mean? Like I said, we're college students. We got so many exams, quizzes to study for. If you're not on your phone and you just do your work, you can get it so much more faster than if you were just on your phone. Like, I've learned this, like I learned definitely back freshman and sophomore year. I used to always try to watch YouTube and like do a discussion post type of paper, knowing I have ADHD. So I already have something in my brain that has I already have something in my brain that makes it to where I have this much of an attention span. Why am I trying to watch YouTube and do this paper? One, I know I don't care to do this paper. Two, I know the YouTube video is interesting. So majority of the time I'm like this, right? 5 seconds in, I'm typing my paper, and I'm like this. Typing, typing, you know what I mean? And so like literally this year, all I do is I'll just put like even I don't try to like they say, don't listen to stuff with like lyrics in it because y'all know that's your favorite song. You gonna get the bumping and moving, get hit, bobbing and dancing. So I would just do like what I did is I made a playlist on YouTube where I have like my favorite songs instrumental. So all I'm doing is like, liking the beat, liking the rhythm, and then I'm studying or I'm doing my work, or like you guys saw when I would go to like the coffee shops, I would listen to like you could do like lo-fi or like coffee shop music, and I'd just be locked in. Like, that's one thing. If you do have ADHD, like you can get so distracted, but then there's this thing called like hyper focus. And I've noticed it to where like I'm so used to being distracted that I always have to tell myself to like get on task or to focus. But there's times where like I will get so zoned in and locked in. I would have typed a paper up, a discussion post, responded to somebody, did an email, and it might have only been 10 or 30 minutes, but this felt like 30 seconds for me. Like, I'd be zooming. So that's what I'm saying. Just have better focus. Like, you will be so much locked in. Like, I've noticed that like college work really don't even be taking that long. We just be procrastinating and putting it off. And then we've already put it off for a day or two. But then on that last day, that day before that exam we're trying to study, we're on our phone. So it's like we've already procrastinated, not making no progress. Then we'll be on our phone. It's double progress. You know what I mean? Twice as no progress being made. So that's what I was saying about better focusing. One of them will just be like growing. Once again, if you're going through something, I've learned, please do not go on social media for your problems. Please, if you click off this video right now, please. One thing to take away is please do not go to social media for your problems, because I've done that so many times, and all you just see is negativity, negativity. Like, it never helps you. Just take your time, log off, and take room for growth. You know what I mean? I definitely know one thing that I feel like it was definitely immature for me, but back then, like middle school and high school, if I was going through something, I would post it. People on Snapchat ain't gonna help you. Go pray. You know what I mean? You renting on Instagram story, people don't care. Take it, please log off. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's almost embarrassing and immature. Like, you just ranting. I know sometimes I have to catch myself. I'll be with my close friends just ranting. That's not doing anything. Take your time, get off of social media, grow, pray to whatever God you believe in. Just take your time. Once again, we just feel like we always have to share something, post something. Like, it's okay. Take your time and grow. And then another thing would just be like better sleep. I know one thing I used to do, I don't do no more, but definitely like 2 years ago, I always used to go to sleep to like YouTube videos. I love YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. So, but I would always go to sleep to like YouTube videos. I would literally pull up a YouTube video after I said my prayers, get into bed, and be like, oh, I just need this video to help me go to sleep. The video's 40 minutes. I done watched all 40. Don't you have to get up for that quiz tomorrow? You know what I mean? So like now I literally will just, just say my prayers and get right into bed. Once again, like I said, I'm talking about that self control. You just have to know. Even sometimes when I get up in the morning, I try not to get on my phone because, once again, you said you was going to wake up at 8, but then when you woke up, you got on your phone. So really, it's now 8:40. You still got to get dressed, boom. So it's like now you're just an hour behind, but it's like you got up and got on your phone. You could have just got up, went and brush your teeth like you're supposed to do, or just like going to bed. You could have just got in your bed and went to sleep, but it's like you're scrolling on TikTok. Next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. Once again, you got that quiz, that assignment to do tomorrow. So I'm like, it's just little things like that. Like all of these things, even when you're in the middle of the detox, self control. That's just what it is. You could be detoxing for 2 weeks or so. Every single day when you wake up, you got to choose. You gonna pick up that phone or not? You go to sleep. I'm gonna get on that phone or I'm not. You know what I mean? You're doing that work. Am I gonna focus or I'm not? And then another thing would, I said for benefiting, I didn't write it down, but I want to say like you finally get a chance to like work on that goal because once again, if you're seeing everybody on TikTok start a business, start a YouTube channel, you might always think that like, oh, because I don't have the equipment they have or I didn't start it when they started, I can't do it. But once I feel like you finally just step back, you take distractions out of your life, you're finally able to do the things that you want to do. I remember one girl I was watching, she was saying that she realized that once she took her social media detox, she was able to get closer to God because she was like, now when she had all that extra free time, she was able to use that free time in a beneficial way. You know what I mean? She's actually able to go out, do something, get closer to God, pray because she's not distracted. She has all this free time now. So yeah, those are just going to be my little benefits of detoxing. And let's get into the fourth one. And so I kind of started talking about this on the last one. I was saying, getting closer to God. But my fourth one is going to be finding substitutes for social media, just because, like, I noticed that too with reading all these self help, motivational books and videos. Like, stuff does not happen overnight. So, like, you're going to need a substitute. You're going to be bored. So, for finding substitutes for social media, I was saying you could do reading, you can get into working out, discovering a new hobby, journaling, like I said in the last one, starting something new, and just developing some new personal goals, personal journey. Because once again, you now have the 20 hours you spent on social media in that week or in that day, you now can put it to something else. And so I wanted to get into reading. I'm so happy that I picked up reading, especially last year. I've always wanted to get into like read. That was kind of the main thing I wanted to start reading, is just because I'm like, if I read 30 minutes each day, that's at least 30 minutes. I know I'm not on my phone. I'm focused on something else. And plus I just feel like on social media, it's like you can take people's personal advice, but I don't know. I just feel like sometimes you don't know if people are really genuine, if people really, to be honest, know what they're talking about. Once again, we just think because someone put PhD in their bio that they're a doctor. And nah, it's the same thing. Like when they're talking about those veneer texts on TikTok, like you literally just see someone's Instagram page and TikTok saying they're a dentist. Are they certified? Do they have a degree? But once again, you're not even thinking about that. You're just mindlessly scrolling. You see somebody TikTok, oh, they're a dentist. Let me listen to them. You know what I mean? But I definitely know with these books and these authors, like a lot of times they do have certifications. Like the book that I showed last time, Psycho-Cybernetics, like that person actually has a PhD, like this physical evidence, scientific evidence, research evidence in the book of what he's talking about. So I definitely say reading self-help and motivational books, they really help me just to sometimes learn, take a break off the internet and actually I feel like hear and learn a credible source. But you could also read like fiction. I mean, I think is it nonfiction? I don't know. I forgot. But if you read like maybe like fantasy books or like mystery books, like still you're still interested in getting into a new hobby. You're still off your phone, so it's still beneficial. I just read self-help and motivational books, so I feel like you could read anything you want. Then for working out, once again, like I'm someone, I work out in the morning, so I wake up at like 6, and it usually takes me like an hour and a half or 2 hours to work out. So at least I know that that's 2 hours and a half that I'm not on my phone. I mean, I'll just be like listening to music and on a timer, but still, that's 2 or something hours that I'm not on social media. That, like, once again, I'm getting into a new hobby. I'm bettering myself, bettering my health, working out, just doing a lot more stuff that I'm not on my phone doing. And plus, that would just help take your mind off you are detoxing and you might think, well, I'm bored. If you think, well, I'm bored and I have nothing else to do with this additional time, working out definitely with showering, eating, and doing the actual workout, it does make time go by fast. So if you want to pick that up as well, that's healthy for you and stuff. And then once again, discovering new hobbies, journaling. Once again, you're gonna have all this time. You might have all these thoughts. Instead of you looking up these thoughts on TikTok and stuff, you can start journaling. I haven't started journaling, but I just know journaling has so many benefits because, like I said, instead of you looking up your problems, you can actually write them down, fully express yourself, and just kind of get them out on paper instead of getting them out on a social media post or ranting on a spam page. You can just put it on paper. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, just trying a new hobby. Go if you want to start running, start walking. I know some people like to yarn, knit, like just doing something else. I don't think people realize like when you do stuff that's like off the media, I feel like it really teaches you a lot of stuff. Like I don't know, like I remember back then thinking like, oh, I have ADHD, I can't sit there and read, or reading is gonna be hard. Like by the time that timer go off of 20, 30 minutes, I'd be like, oh, I didn't know this was 20, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like you just don't realize what you could be using all your time with. Like we'll be on social media 20, 30 hours focused on other people's lives and we're not benefiting our own. So I'm like, all these new habits could, they'll be helping you in general, but they'll be helping you physically, mentally, spiritually. So like I said, just it's never wrong to take a break and to like do something new. And then once again, like I mentioned before, it's just you're finally having this time to work on personal goals, personal journey. You want to start your workout journey. You want to start a YouTube channel, start a business. I mean, just get into school. Like just having time for yourself, developing time for yourself, starting something new, starting a new journey. Like it's a lot better than always focusing on other people's journey. Even, of course, this is a little contradicting because I'm putting this in a YouTube video and you guys are watching the YouTube video, but at still least the time you took to watch this video, at least you might have gained something, you might have benefited from something. And so that was all I wanted to say for number 4. And so for the last thing that I want to talk about is to like start tracking your progress. And once again, that could be writing in a journal, like say if you're working out, taking pictures, even with your social media detox, you could just be like making notes on your phone, like, okay, this is how I felt about this day, that day. Just tracking your progress. So if you were like, okay, this month I was on social media, next month I'm not. Or once again, your screen time, it'll tell you if you were 50% down, a percent, or say it will let you know if you went up more than your average or you went down. So just understanding and tracking your progress because like I said in the beginning, like we always think stuff is instant because of social media. We see people's perfect lives. But if you're tracking you always getting better at something, it doesn't make it seem like you're not growing or you're not as good as someone, right? Like I said in my last video, consistency and discipline, right? Say if you want to get into working out and you're taking pictures, you know what I mean? We always see, like I said, the girl who looks good, who has abs, who has the biggest glutes, or the guy who has the biggest chest, biggest biceps, biggest back. But it's like, we don't see the progress. We don't see the steps. You know what I mean? So if you're constantly taking pictures, you could tell, okay, January, I look like it this way, and 8 months into it, I look like it now. You know what I mean? So just taking pictures, or like I said, journaling, you could be like, okay, a month into no detoxing, this is how I feel. 2 months into detoxing, this is how I feel. 4 months into detoxing, this is how I feel. So yeah, I just feel like tracking your progress to definitely see your growth would help you because once again, we always compare ourselves to social media, so we're always thinking that we're not growing or we're not making progress. But it's like if you physically can see it written down on paper or visually by taking pictures or just anything written, you will be able to see your growth. And so I would say, yeah, make sure you track your progress. And yeah, so that was pretty much all of my tips and all of my things. I was so happy to make this video. I hope you guys really got this. I know another girl, she was saying this in her video, but like I don't try to like talk long or like not get to the point, but I just be trying to make sure that like everybody understands. I know I love to talk, so I could talk for an hour or two, but it's just like I just be wanting to make sure everybody is like getting it and understanding it. So hopefully everybody understood every point, every like sub point that I was trying to make. Like I said, I always try to watch like a couple of videos and then I try to make up my own ideas so people can understand. But we always gonna run through it again. So one was the negative effects of social media. It may cause comparison, instant gratification, and the problem of mindless scrolling. Number two, how to detox, look at screen time, create limits, basic self control, and have it on your computer than your phone, or just delete the app. Three, benefits of detoxing, better mental health, better focusing, room for growth, more creativity, better sleep. And I didn't mention this, but being in the moment, because you'd be so quick to just take a picture of something and it's like, dang, like, did you really enjoy the moment? So number four, finding substitutes for social media, because once again, once you delete that app, you're going to be bored. So picking up reading, working out, discovering a new hobby, journaling, starting something new, developing personal goals, getting on a new journey. And then number five, it would just be to track your progress, just to make sure you can see your growth, track your growth, write in a journal, take pictures, if you're working out, and then new things that you've learned and stuff. So, yeah. So that was kind of everything I wanted to say about how to take a social media detox. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what other self-help video or ideas that I should talk about. I definitely want to start making them more, like I said, specific to college students, just because I feel like I am a college student, so I definitely know what we'd be going through. So yeah, don't yap. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. I think we at 400 and almost 30, so it's really road to 500. Road to 500. So, but yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. And yeah, just don't rush your journey. Take your time. Give yourself grace. Okay? Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you on the next video.